your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, take a look. We've got some showers and a few storms out there across the area. Little guy here in southeastern Iroquois County near Wellington, between Wellington and Milford. And then additional activity down near Caldon and west of Charleston. Pretty good rainfall out of these as they've been moving across the area. There's a cold front pushing through tonight, and that will eventually bring our temperatures down. Take away the humidity that is out there tonight as well. Out the door, you're looking at temperatures that are going to be in the low and mid 60s. Lots of sunshine. Pretty nice day coming up. A dry forecast after tonight. We'll talk about it coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
Some parents are questioning a letter one superintendent wrote. What it said about a man who admitted to transporting child pornography.
And more details on the Amtrak crash that derailed a train Sunday. How one passenger described the aftermath.
Tense moments at a town hall, how Congressman Rodney Davis handled critics and rallied supporters in Decatur.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
The superintendent of Monticello Schools is clearing up parents' speculations. They're questioning a letter he wrote regarding a former employee who pleaded guilty to child pornography charges. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. In April, 40-year-old William Bell admitted to transportation and possession of child porn. Former co-workers and Superintendent Vic Zimmerman wrote letters that were used in court recently explaining Bell's upstanding behavior as an employee. On Facebook, parents expressed concern about the intent of those letters. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is in our newsroom. So Jennifer, what did the superintendent say?
Jessica, he told me his written words were not in defense of Bell's actions, but rather to share his character as an IT employee in the district.
Monticello Superintendent Vic Zimmerman says William Bell's father asked him to write the letter that was presented in court before his sentencing. Bell confessed to using a home computer to send sexually explicit pictures of minors. None of it was found on school computers. Online, people are now questioning why district employees would come to his defense to convince a judge to reduce his sentence. Zimmerman says that was not his intent, and he did not state that in his letter. It was solely meant to give his perspective on Bell's professional conduct as an employee. In part, the letter says, I was shocked and appalled to learn of the situation. According to his work file, we had no issues with him as an employee. He was honest and pleasant and a hard worker for us. While he has surely lost his opportunity to ever work in the school district again, I am hopeful he can right his wrong in some way, end quote. Parents we contacted didn't want to go on camera, but some say they're considering putting their kids in other school districts because of their perception of the letters. Bell worked for the school district since 2004. He was placed on leave last November after the district became aware of the investigation. He resigned on February 4th.
We'll have a copy of those letters on our website at WCIA.com. In the newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Jennifer, thank you. Bell could face up to 20 years in prison for the transportation of child pornography charge. The possession charge has a maximum penalty of 10 years.
The statute of limitations for sex crimes has been removed. Governor Pritzker signed the law on Friday. It could help adult survivors of sex crimes, but only if the former statute of limitations has not expired yet. If the case is beyond 10 years old, it won't apply. Local attorneys say it's difficult to prosecute cases older than 10 years, but it's worth a shot.
It eliminates that feeling of frustration that the public has of, how come we can't get this guy? And there are advances in DNA that have made it, oh, maybe now you can figure out who committed that sex crime in 1975.
This only applies to criminal sexual assault, aggravated criminal sexual assault, and aggravated criminal sexual abuse. The statute of limitations used to be for 10 years. Now for an update on a domestic assault from last month, the Illinois Department of Corrections says Bradley Jenkins is no longer an employee. He was charged with felony domestic assault. Police say he had a fight with his new wife, Alyssa Martin, in St. Louis. She fell to her death at a parking garage near Busch Stadium, but she recorded the fight that happened beforehand. Jenkins worked for IDOC since 2010.
As we first told you on our WCIA 3 News app, police are investigating after a body was found in Champaign. Now we know who it is. The coroner says 23-year-old Julian Cummings was found outside of an apartment building near State and Springfield this morning. An initial autopsy shows Cummings died of natural causes. The coroner's office is still waiting for other tests to come back. Several people were sent to the hospital after a multi-vehicle crash on the Illinois-Indiana state line on Saturday. It happened on I-74. Police say a truck driver failed to slow down due to slowed traffic. That caused a chain reaction of cars crashing into each other. A car, pickup, truck, SUV, and another semi were involved. 3 people were seriously hurt and sent to the hospital. Police are investigating that crash. We have new details on the train derailment that happened yesterday. 77-year-old Richard Millett was the truck driver who was killed after an Amtrak train hit his truck. This happened about a half-hour north of Kankakee. WCIA 3 meteorologist Adam Claybon was on that train. He says he was on it for about 3 hours, waiting to be able to leave. Passengers getting off saw what was left over from the crash.
It's really confusing at first, and it's just emotionally all over the place, even though you might not be terrified. There's just a lot going on, and to have them around, and really everybody else too, to have that companionship.
No one on the train was seriously hurt. Amtrak representatives say they canceled all trips this morning, but things were operating as normal as of this afternoon.
New tonight at 10, Urbana police officers were handing out a different kind of ticket tonight, one for your meal. Officers acted as hosts and servers tonight at Longhorn Steakhouse in Champaign. It was part of a fundraiser for the Fraternal Order of Police. Some of the restaurant's proceeds during the officers' shifts there will help pay for events including Shop with a Cop and Cops Helping Kids.
Times are hard for everybody. We understand that, and we try to do that little extra so that way at the end of the year when we do that program, Shop with a Cop, we have the ability to get more kids involved and get them some items that they need for Christmas.
They helped serve customers for 3 hours tonight. While the department is trying to help the Fraternal Order of Police, that group is working on its own fundraiser to help kids. It's collecting school supplies. People can drop off items at the Urbana Police Department. There's a blue plastic tote in the lobby. All the supplies will go to elementary grades in the Urbana School District. We have a list of supplies they're looking for at WCIA.com.
And speaking of back to school, students entering high school this year will have to get a dental exam. They used to only need them before kindergarten, 2nd, and 6th grades. The state says it will help prevent poor oral health from affecting performance in school. The new guidelines will now fall on the same years as required physicals. If you have piles of unpaid bills, they could become a little easier to pay off under a new state law. Governor Pritzker signed the Consumer Fairness Act into law this morning. It lowers the interest rate cap from 9% down to 5% for outstanding debts after a court judgment.
Under this new law, families will now pay a lower post-judgment interest rate for sums of $25,000 or less. And we're reducing the time frame in which the collection of a debt judgment can be revived.
Debt collectors can now only go back 17 years to collect a debt. That time frame used to be 26 years. The governor says these new numbers are more in line with regulations in other states. Congressman Rodney Davis hosted his first town hall open to the public in years tonight.
That's right. The incumbent Republican took questions from the crowd in a joint appearance with a state lawmaker. WCIA 3's Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell was there. He joins us live from Decatur tonight. So, Mark, it was highly anticipated and closely guarded.
Paul, good evening. It was a rowdy, rambunctious, and energetic event here at the Richland Community College where voters packed an auditorium. Security guards were closely monitoring the front as protesters lined up outside and had signs. Some of them made their way inside and shouted questions at Congressman Davis, but this was, in fact, his most transparent public event in years. Some people here frustrated that in years past he had not held events like this, but tonight he answered questions unfiltered given to him by the Decatur Herald and Review, who moderated this event, and he took questions from all kinds, even answering some of them from the people in the crowd. It appeared to be about an 80-20 mix of pro-Trump Republicans who applauded several different lines from Congressman Davis as he came to the president's defense, but there were a number of critics scattered throughout in the crowd here tonight. Congressman Davis said he does not believe President Trump committed a crime. He also said that he doesn't believe Special Counsel Robert Mueller authored his own report, that he had staff do it for him, and that he was not convinced or persuaded by Robert Mueller's testimony after last week's hearing. He also said he does not think President Trump is a racist, answering some of the criticism and frustration from people in the crowd tonight who voiced displeasure with the president's tweets. Congressman Davis did say he wants to see the president do less tweeting and more governing. At this hour, no response yet from Democrat Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan, who in the past has called on the congressman to hold events just like this one. Paul.
So, Mark, you mentioned the Mueller report and Robert Mueller's testimony. Did Congressman Davis say that there would be anything that would or could convince him that the president possibly committed a crime?
That's a good question. We pressed him backstage on whether or not this was obstruction of justice. You'll recall the Mueller report clearly said there was no evidence of collusion. They could not substantiate claims that the president colluded with Russia or any foreign power. But the report clearly stated that the president and people around him worked to obstruct justice. And Special Counsel Mueller testified that after the president were to leave office, he could then charge him with a crime. Congressman Davis said he thinks that the prosecutors should be able to do that to a sitting president now, but he does not believe the president committed a crime. So it seems that he said this should be viewed in history as a waste of taxpayer resources, and he wants Congress to move on.
One more thing really quickly, Mark. Obviously, you mentioned his Democratic challenger, Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan. What did Congressman Davis have to say about your report and the campaign operative that was on Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan's media call?
He said the buck stops with me, and he plans to, himself rather, and he plans to handle this internally. We will have more video up for you to watch all of this unfold on WCIA.com.
All right, Mark, thanks. Mark Maxwell live at Decatur tonight.
Well, Toys R Us is gone, but its spot in one city won't be empty for much longer. We'll tell you what's moving in.
Plus, it's a safety hazard to be near this building in one village. Now they say something has to be done.
And Illini football training camp will have some last-minute additions this year. Who's now on the roster?